be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and for me.
And me.
You just wait and see.
Love in your heart.
Say, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love, put a little love in your heart.
Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
A little love.
Put a little love in your heart. 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 Put a little love
In your heart. Hey, hallelujah.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children laughing. One love, hear the children cry. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really like to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own? Believe me when I say one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. As it was in the beginning, one love, so it shall be in the end. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no more doom. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Believe me when I say one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. I'm leading to mankind. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
Okay, good.
is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Yeah, yeah, yeah. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
All right, good morning. How we doing out there? Great, very good. So welcome to all of you here in the sanctuary this morning and any of those of you joining us here online. My name is Reverend Michael McMorrow, and you are at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. Our presider this morning is our assistant minister, Reverend Nancy Woods. And we're all going to get underway here by taking a deep, conscious breath and exhale, just allowing ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And when we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet are unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center. As Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember I am letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and I see there is only love. There is love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
As we lovingly embrace this moment, as we recognize that this love is the divine saying yes to each one of us, saying yes to life, we welcome this opportunity to be here together in this atmosphere in which we are embracing the idea that the divine is all that there is, and that each and every one of us is the divine saying yes to life and coming forth into a unique expression, where we realize that this opportunity that we have stepped into in this hour we're spending together, we can open our hearts to a greater expression of love, joy, peace, and harmony. As we embrace the idea, the ability to live more fully, more completely is forever ours. And we say yes to it. And as we know this, we know that that which pours forth through the music, the songs, the message, every aspect of this service blesses each one of us. So we willingly accept the truth that is coming our way and know that it will expand our ability to express the divine and its glorious beauty and joy, peace and harmony. We are willing subjects of its presence. So in this energy of embracing and acceptance, we say yes. And we acknowledge this wondrous law of the universe that is forever fulfilling the words of our thoughts and that come forth. And we acknowledge its activation as we say together, so it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
There is a lot of experiences that happen on this path that we are all on, the spiritual path. A lot of good things, a lot of challenging things, a lot of lights going on in awareness. And I had a good light to go on this week for me. You know, you keep hearing this concept that that our mind, you know, we live in our own experience, our own consciousness. But then we get it in a bigger way when we find ourselves doing a little bit of a judgment. And then a couple of days later, it comes back to you that you're doing the same judgment. You say, oh. You know, it really is true. And I know that we all have heard it over and over again, that our experience is our life. And we want to know what's going on inside there. And I'm thinking, look at our life outside. So, you know, looking at those people that irritate us, that cause, that we want to fix and correct a little bit, they are the teachers of what's going on inside here. So, you know, it's rich sometimes to be in an environment and in a class where we all are pointing at that truth, because it reminds you to see it during the week. And it can be mild, and it can be strong, and it can be heavy. But I realize that it is always a blessing, because I'm constantly being fed an awareness of what is going on in my life and what I am resisting and what I am struggling with in awareness. And I really appreciate the idea. And I love Emma because she said, you don't worry about it. Don't get hung up on it when you see it. Don't knock yourself when you observe it. Just embrace the lesson and keep going. Because there's no reason, no benefit, no profit in ever judging or knocking ourselves. Nothing comes from it except more to knock. And so it's good to just say, I love me. And I love me where I am. And I appreciate the opportunity to even grow. And thank you, whoever it is, for being in my life to remind me that this is another place I can grow. I love the idea of being in a philosophy that accepts me where I am. And also invites me to accept everybody in front of me where they are. And thank you for letting me share that.
Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Please welcome David Olivas on saxophone and keyboards. And Moore on bass. I want to thank the singers for coming today, Miss Terry Page, Jerry Wright, Angela Carol Brown. All right. And Mike Carlin, who just walked in the door. Hi, Mike. Woo-hoo! I would really like to thank our next friend that is here, a great singer. Please welcome Miss Brenda Moore.
John Lennon song, and we want you to sing along.
Here we go. 1, 2.
There's nothing you can see that can't be snow. And nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. And I think you know the chorus. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you are meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Awesome. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All together now. All you need is love. Everybody. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is
Love is all you need.
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 Aren't we blessed to have such a fantastic music ministry? Thank you for that. It's a good, healthy reminder. All you really need is love, right? So good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to see you. Say hello to each other. Hello. Turn to your right, turn to your left, look in front of you, look behind you. Maybe you'll see somebody new. Welcome them, please. It's wonderful to see you all. And if you're new here, if you're here for the very first time, we welcome you with open arms and an open heart. There's a lot of love here for you. And if you've been here before, well, welcome back. So I'm going to highlight just a few things. First of all, come here Wednesday night. Do not miss Kirtan Kara. It's going to be here Wednesday. They are going to be here Wednesday night, and it's really a fantastic way to get your Valentine's mojo working for the just a real heart-opening experience. So come here for that on Wednesday night. Today is our healing support group at 1 o'clock. There's visioning on Wednesday night with Reverend Mike. Valentine's Day is Thursday. Happy Valentine's Day. All you need is love. The Law of Attraction is February 17th at 2 o'clock. And please note on the screen there, probably somewhere, is the celebration of life for our member John Charney. He made his transition, and we will be celebrating his life here on Saturday, February 23rd at 2 p.m. There's probably service opportunities, so if you want to serve at that event, then see probably Judy Dunkley for that. And then also Mel Chesner was a member here. He sat right there, yeah, and he was tan and good looking and white hair, and he made his transition. And there will be a celebration of life service for Mel, not here. They're going to have it, I think you said at a bowling alley, is that right? And there's limited space, so if you're interested in attending that, it's also going to be a karaoke event because Mel loved to sing. So if you're interested in attending that, see Reverend Mike for details on how to RSVP, or it probably is up there. I can't see right now behind me. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day. All you need is love. Welcome if you're new, and thank you very much. I'm sorry. I think you should know that Chloe's going to be in an event, and there's flyers outside for that, right, Chloe? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Right. Okay. So there are flyers in the other room for that.
Also, days if anybody's interested in coming, and I will be down there next week for Valentine's Day.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Would you stand and say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah. Feeling good down in my soul, God is so good. Feeling good down in my my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Well, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Yeah, yeah. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Here we go. My God is so. My God is so. My God is so good to me.
All right. Well, that'll get you going. All right, so if you check your program, down at the bottom there might be a little colored dot, a little splash of color. No? On the very back of the program. The back is the opposite of the front. Nobody? Man, I even stacked the deck between the services. There should be one more out there. Let's see. What color is this? Yellow. There should be someone with a green dot on the back. No? Jose, you could really use this. Here you go. Jose's a good sport. All right. So, yeah, that has daily guides in it. So it's a nice way to start the day. All right. So, as you can see, our talk title today is a recognition of our shared humanity. And our theme is when we allow oneness to be what we live from, our thoughts, words, and actions contribute to an ethical world and a world that works for everyone. So, in other words, when we get our own stuff straight in here, it all works out there, which Nancy already said. So, thank you for coming. See you next week. All right, so, but I did want to share with you, you know, you're not going to get off that easy, so I wanted to share with you some pictures that I saw on the internet. So this one, I cannot read this photographer's name here, but this was taken this week. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. But I can't figure out where that bird came from. I'm wondering if it's been photoshopped, but there you go. Because that looks like an eagle, but maybe it's a hawk, right? All right, so at any rate, so you guys can look at that while we just kind of get caught up. So last week we spoke to the 10 justice principles developed by Reverend Dr. James Forbes at the Riverside Church in Manhattan, New York. And we as Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide are working with these 10 justice principles throughout the year. This month it happens to be that we seek our common good, and but there are others. And so like I said, we seek, this month is we seek our common good, or if you'd like another version of that, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. God, the first service didn't like that either. Live long and prosper. Come on, man. All right. Back to the cold. I hope you're feeling it. That's how I feel with this joke. All right, so, yeah, so this is actually the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, are actually a an example of utilitarian philosophy, if you've ever been a philosophy student. And actually, Spock was not the first one to think of this. Caiaphas actually said this about Jesus when he said, well, better to waste one dude than a whole nation. And so off he went to the cross. But that's another story. So this idea of the 10 justice principles, the first one being we seek the common good. The rest of them are simply this. That number 2 is to be truthful in facts and motives. To be truthful in facts and motives. Number 3 is to promote unity and inclusion. 4 is to care for the poor. 5, to protect the vulnerable. 6 is to guard freedom of thought and discussion. 7, respect other nations and peoples. 8, to ensure the stewardship of creation. Ensure stewardship of creation. 9, cherish the human family. And 10, to provide moral leadership. So I'll be interested to see how that one goes, because moral leadership kind of depends on your perspective, I would think. But given that Dr. Forbes was a Baptist minister, I would say it's probably informed by the Judeo-Christian ethic. And, you know, if you took these 10 justice principles and broke them down, just if you were to take the 10 commandments and broke them down, you'd find that they fall under 2 grand edicts, right? Either 1, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, or 2, love your neighbor as yourself. So if you actually go through that exercise, break them down, you'll see that they'll fit under those 2 things. And so today's talk title then, of course, is the recognition of our shared humanity. And the recognition of our shared humanity, that implies that we should first know what it is to be human. What it is to be human. And again, I think this is kind of from your perspective of your experience of life. Right? So if you didn't get a very good start in life, or you came from a war-torn country, or a country where people were that had a lot of desperation in it, lack of food, water, shelter, it would be one thing. And then growing up in the United States, even without some of the basic necessities, compared to the third world, even the least among us are often doing pretty well. So we do come to these considerations from a pretty high way of living, a pretty high living standard, which we either recognize or not. Right? We recognize or not. So what is it to be human? And I think when we consider this question, it needs to first be considered and asked by the individual. Okay, so what does being human mean to me? Right? And then there should be some type of collective agreement about what to be human or to be humane is. Or is it even possible? Again, from our perception, from our start in life, maybe we've just kind of given up on human beings ever being able to live peacefully, for instance. So I just let Merriam-Webster sort this out for us, and so the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. All right, I've got a few more that time. This is right before he dies, by the way. You could at least give him a pity chuckle. All right, so the synonyms of humanity. So human beings in general. How do we define human beings in general? Folks, humankind, people, public, species, world. Right? Broaden it out a little bit more. That words related to humanity, community, society, crowd, masses, then it gets a little darker, mob, populace, proletariat, comrades, rabble, rabblement, and riffraff. We broaden it out a little bit more, right? And if we define humanity not from this generalized sense, but from the capacity for feeling another's misfortune or unhappiness, another word for that might be empathy. Yes, empathy, not sympathy, but empathy. Then we would come up with these synonyms: big-heartedness, charity, commiseration, compassion, feeling, good-heartedness, heart, kind-heartedness. Are you seeing there's a lot of heart in this way of living? Kindliness, kindness, large-heartedness, mercy, pity, ruth, soft-heartedness, sympathy, warm-heartedness. Right? I mean, just imagine if humans generally just practiced just being kind with each other, just that one, right? Just to be kind. The whole, I mean, that would be a game changer, yeah? And then there are words that are connected to and related to humanity. So to be human is to have feelings, to be sensitive, and to be sensible, is to be responsive, affection, love, regard, affinity, empathy, rapport, altruism, generosity, goodwill, humaneness, humanism, humanitarianism. Thank you, Jerry. Humanitarianism, and philanthropy, right? Which is the practice of generosity. And these are all wonderful ways, and really the highest potential of human beings to show up in the world. Yes? And wouldn't it be great if we could all live from this place? And in fact, when religious science speaks to this, when Ernest Holmes in Living the Science of Mind speaks to this, he says this, that religious science teaches an absolute unity of humanity with its source being the divine. So complete is this union that the slightest act of human consciousness manifests some degree of our divinity. That's how fully immersed we are in this thing. That we are not God, but we have no life separate of divinity. Eric Butterworth would say we are the allness of the divine, the allness of the Spirit. We are not God, but we have no life separate from the divine. That we have no existence apart from our source. That we think thoughts of God. That we are divine neither by will nor through choice, but by necessity. So another way of saying that is that the one thing that you don't have any choice in is that the Spirit is everywhere present. What we do have a choice in is recognizing its demonstration in our life. Okay? And maybe even going a step further into allowing it to express fully and completely in our life. Now, how is that going to happen? Right? Well, we have to become willing to own all of our stuff, including the things that maybe we don't want to look at. Right? But the potential is if we can keep our eyes single on the fact that we are emanations from the very mind of the divine itself, and that we choose to live from that place with all that that implies and all the promise contained therein, then we will experience a life that is far happier. And yet, when we look out into the outer world, we can also see that some of it is driven by this, and this is where the work lies. right? That we do see out in the world, that we do see cold-heartedness, that we do see hard-heartedness, inhumanity, inhumaneness, right? And then there are times, and we don't like looking at this, but when you think about the people that you don't get along with very well, right, where we can be callous, we can give them the cold shoulder, which another term for that would be ghosting someone, right? To give them the cold shoulder, disinterest, indifference. Indifference in relationship is perhaps the cruelest way to be with someone. Not hate, but indifference. I could give a hoot whether you're here or not. Right? And I'm very proud of myself for saying hoot. Unconcern, cruelty, harshness, animosity, antipathy, dislike, hatred, hostility. Now, we don't like to think that we can show up in that way. You know, we like to know that this is the way that we show up in the world, that we embrace and express the many faces of God. And yet I think we do well to do a little self-inventory, and not just once in a while. You know, religious scientists, we don't like the shadow. We want to affirm that everything's hippie, happy, hunky-dory. And that's fine for as good as it goes. Right? So you can, in fact, glaze the horse apple with a bunch of affirmations, and then on the outside it will look like a candy apple. But if you bite into it, what is it? Right? It's still a rotten apple. Right? So what we're wanting to do as religious scientists is to own all of it. Right? Our shared humanity, to recognize our shared humanity that has shadow in it. And you, my beloved, I am now willing to own my part of this and to heal it. Right? Because the fact of the matter is that when we are not seeing the face of God out there in expression, I guarantee you if you take inventory of it, you're afraid of something. And if you're angry about it, you're afraid of something. Or you're resentful. Oh, I don't have any resentments. Right? So, I mean, just if you want to see what you are resentful about, so just take a moment to just consider in your life, right, the people that you think owe you an apology. Now, come on, I know you got a few. Somebody owes you an apology. No? Are we all? Boy, we are a very healed group here. All right, so somebody owes you an apology. That's a resentment. Okay? That's a resentment. Now, how to deal with that? There's really only one way. Right? There's really only one way. And this is when we know that we have really shifted into a spiritual practice that is really allowing the divine to come forward. And that is to pray for them. To pray for them. Now, this can go beyond our brothers and sisters, and for institutions, right? So let's say we have a strong interest in environmental concerns, and you know we're looking at climate change and global warming and oil companies and corporate greed and all these other things, right? That we can pray for that also. In fact, really, as religious scientists, right, if you are embracing this way of being in the world, then we really are called to do exactly that. And if you consider just a little bit more, this is work that is uniquely ours to do because we know better, right? Particularly when I look out into the world, it sure looks like a lot more than one guy is going to be able to do. Right? Even if he comes down from on high on the magic sled or whatever that says in Revelation, right? But the second coming, and this isn't meant to be a knock on anybody, even though it sort of is, but the second coming really has to be in consciousness, right? So the Christ did not create did not create the strife in the world, did not create the many ecological concerns that we have. That Christ did not extinct any species, and yet we, in the continuum of our own race consciousness, from which we are awakening. Right? So this is the good news, that we are awakening out of a dream of build, 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 get, pollute, 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 strive, 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 wealth, 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 her, him, him, and all the drama around that. And we can even watch it vicariously, right? So we can, binge our favorite soap opera or some other type of story like that, right? Because what's really going on here is if we are experiencing any of these other things here, is what we are experiencing is a disassociation from the divine. I'll give you another area that we can kind of connect to that might be a little more accessible, because I've had to do my own processing around this. How about when you hear the term white privilege, since we have a lot of white folk in here, right? How does that one hit you when you hear that? What do you mean white privilege? I'm not a racist. Well, no, you may not be a racist, but that doesn't mean that we, as white people or white European descent maybe, right, that we do not live from a place of privilege, right? Now, it's okay to be uncertain with all of that. What it's not okay to be is, what we don't want to be is all this, right? What we don't want to be is so hard-hearted that we live in contempt rather than investigation, right? Well, how is it? If white privilege really existed, let's say it doesn't, but if it did, what would it look like? And if I had it, I'm not saying that I do, but if I had it, what would it look like? How would it outpicture? How would it inform the way that I am in the world? Right? I think these are good conversations to start having. Right? How have I treated women? Right? I mean, that's been a big thing. How have I treated women? How have the guys that I hung out with, how have we treated women? What have our conversations been like? I'm not going to share that here. Right? Right? All this is kind of an evolving thing, right? And when we know better, we do better, right? So I think we're beginning to understand that, yes, capitalism is a great driver of innovation. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. And yet it needs to be tweaked a little bit, right? It's good to use the world's natural resources and to use them in, practice ways of conservation and so forth, but it's not okay to use the planet as a garbage can. It's okay to have wealth. There's not a thing wrong with having wealth, right? So long as we are doing it in a way that is ethical, and is not demeaning to someone else to my own benefit, right? That has some aspect of seek the common good in it. Right? So we can pray for our enemies. Another way that we can be, that helps generate this sense of being one with the faith, being that face of God, is to be of service. Right? To be of service. One of the sweet things Susan Amsden did for us when she was around was to set up visits down to Dorothy Day, where we went down and we actually cooked and chopped and did all this stuff to feed the homeless downtown around Skid Row, right? And they were very adamant about coaching us up on seeing the face of God in each person, and the dignity within each person, regardless of whether they're living on the street or not, regardless of their addiction, regardless if they're turning tricks to get by or haven't showered in a while, right? Or should know better. Any of that stuff. Check that jive at the door. And I got to tell you, there is a real sweetness in being of service. Just some of the tasks were just as simple as handing hot sauce to people, right? Just that. I was the water boy for a day. I just went around and made sure all the pitchers had water and ice and that kind of stuff. Cups. Just little things, right? And I got to tell you, we were both, they were fed and I was fed. And I know everyone who went down there was fed. Right, so we have the Friends of the LA River coming up, right? So we're cleaning up the LA River. Yeah, it's a concrete ditch, right? There's good reasons for why they did that, by the way. And yet, it's still, folks are living down there. We got to clean it up, right? And we're looking for ways to serve out there, but there are also easier ways to serve here. So we have a meeting for the spring fling after the service today. And Marcy is heading that up along with Margie. So if you'd like to, and it's fun. You get to connect with people and you get this little thing that you get to do together, because that's the other great thing about service. We have the lay pastoral care thing where we can visit the sick, right? Or you can serve by attending. Right? Have you ever thought about that? You were serving your spiritual community by just getting your butt out of the rack and getting here on a regular basis, like you did today, when it's be a lot nicer to just roll over and stay in a nice, cozy bed. So I'm speaking to those of you at home. But we're going to be giving soon, so go to our homepage for us. All right. So you get the idea. Right? That we can give by being a Rotary member, or an Elk, or a Seroptimus, or serving on the neighborhood council, or attending neighborhood council meetings. There's all kinds of ways to serve. Right? And all of these things are a part of spiritual living. Right? And when we can bring this, right? What is it about those folks over there on Chatsworth Street? They seem to have something going on, man. They're so kind. They're generous of heart, right? They're energetic when they show up, right? They kind of bring a light to the room. You'd be surprised the reputation I have in the bid meeting. Yeah. So there's Melviny this week. So let's take a deep breath and call our musicians forward. Whew. So today, let's pick one person. It might even be a minister who talks too long, but pick one person you have a resentment about. Right. Someone who owes you an apology. Or something. Could be the IRS, a corporation, whatever. And to think about that person, that institution, whatever it is, and to pray. And to pray from this place. To know that the allness of God is right where I am. And as I recognize and acknowledge my oneness with the living Spirit, I recognize and know that I stand in my power of truth, recognizing and knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life of God in expression. And so from this place of my conscious unity for the one, with the one, as the one, I now lift my friend, my Anam Cara, my soul friend, into the highest realms of good, knowing for them all the goodness of life that I want for myself. I know this for my community, my family, my community, my relationship, my country, my planet. That I release this into the divine activity of that aspect of the divine from which all things are made manifest, that the divine substance itself is activated by the power of my word right now as I release it into its full and complete demonstration. Do that. Take that vibe into your work week. Come in on Wednesday and re-up it. And come in next week and we'll see how we did.
Love is real, real is love. Love is feeling, feeling love. Love is wanting to be loved. Love is touch. Touch is love. Love is reaching, reaching love. Love is asking to be loved. Love is you, you and me. Love is knowing that we can be. Love is free. Free is love. Love is living, living love. Love is needing to be loved.
And very nice. Yeah, let's give them some love there. Always good to hear from you, Ken. All right, so as we prepare our gifts for the offering, we'll call our ushers forward.
Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
Very nice. So just going with them for a moment longer, recognizing and knowing that the gifts presented here in the sanctuary or presented online are a demonstration of consciousness of the individual that understands and knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. So from the generous heart of the individual represented by these gifts here this morning, we, representing the heart of this spiritual community, accept these gifts with deep love and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless everyone here this morning, anyone connected to our center in any way, that we extend this glad tidings and this blessing to our friends in our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all our churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that our planet is as well, that we know for all of it, that it is an emanation of the allness of the Spirit itself in expression. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating. And we see what's ours to do. And we leave the rest. And we step into it fully and completely. This lifts our heart. We feel a sense of power and grace that propels us into ways of being to serve not only ourselves, but others as well. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. So please help me thank Vinu, one of our board members, and Miss Chloe. So we do have a meeting for the spring fling. It starts at like 11:45, and it'll only take a half hour or so, right? So if you want to check in and just you can nose in without getting committed even. So just come and see what's going on. It's going to be a fun time this year, and you can at least find out about that. So let's thank all of our singers here this morning. Wonderful. Thank you, Brenda. And the lovely percussionist, Mrs. Francis herself. The band, even David. And Ken Francis, our music director, yes. All right, thank you for being here. See you next week. Pray us out, Rev.
So as us, as the practitioners surround this room, we surround it in love. And if you have someone you want to place in the heart of this love, and receive the nurturing of it, as we recognize together that infinite presence has blessed us with this experience this hour. And it is with this consciousness of gratitude that we leave this room. Grateful that we were blessed with the beautiful music, the message that was delivered, the wonderful companionship of each person here. These are the blessings of love and joy and harmony that we welcome into our life. And as we go forth to know this, we know that this is what we have to give to others. And as we embrace the idea of health, love, prosperity, and the creative expression of being, we say yes. And the law is saying yes with us. And so together, we know it's our truth as we say, and so it is.
Please stand for the peace song.
each other.